Alright, dog guys, more bike here. I've just been fiddling on with this a little bit more, and I'll run out there down to about a milli, apart from that little dip. And I mean little dip, it's not even like, I would say it might just be the rim buckled, you know. Because it's just this one little bit that dips in a bit, the rest is fine. Far as underneath is concerned, which is the other bit of run out. Let's just see how that goes. That there's still about a milli run out, but seeing that same part of the rim it's running out on. So I think it is the rim just buckled, fortunately. I haven't got enough money for a new rim at the minute, so that's going to be a no-go. But I think that's everything tight. I just need some electrical tape to cut the clip back on. Great. Haven't got any. This here is the screen that I offered to someone. Skullduggery, I think. So, but it's no good. It's not to mention dirty as fuck. It's not the right size for him. This came off a 1990, which is a 3CW Yamaha FJ1200, which is different plastics, which I found out the hard way, to a current Yamaha and the last Yamaha. I think, what are these again? 3XW, and that is a 3CW. Oh, what the fuck that is. Made of completely different plastics and that on the front end. Completely different subframe, completely different plastics. Oh, what bastards. Broken, I just want you to know who I am. I think that might be my right camera angle there, like. See. I was just trying out some new camera angles. But yeah. So I've got the C90 wheel ready to I'm not really good at this camera angle shit. Oh, no. Too high. There we go. So I've got the wheel ready to go back on. I just need some tape. And I've got all the spokes lined up. I've got the tape and that on. I haven't got any rim tape, so I've just used about 3 rolls of electrical tape. Should be enough. Now I've got a little tip for you for when you're putting tyres back on. And it's this. Yes, lube. This is just a bit of a leftover. Yeah. So, I mean, this is probably common knowledge anyway. What you do is you just squirt it on around the bit of the tyre that's going on first. I mean, however, we all know how slippy this stuff is. Oh, hold on, I didn't get it on far enough down. There. Slide it on. And it works a bloody treat. Now another tip for when you're doing this, depending on what rim you've got, when you get the first bit on, right, try and cable tie there. So, say you start putting on it further on, and you go a little bit too far, and this can pop out. So, if you put a little cable tie on, or even a bit of rope, bit of string, pull it tight. Fucking hell, it's raining a bit, right? and it works a treat for it not popping back off, which I might have to do in a minute. But just like I said, just a little bit of lube. Lube. And it doesn't actually hurt to where when you first put it on, if you haven't lined up the inner tube on properly, just a little tiny dash of lube there on the inside. So when you come to when you've got the tyre on and it comes to that being the tube being a little bit off, you can just adjust it the way you need to be. And the good thing about using the lube is it dries up afterwards. It dries up after every 10 minutes, 10-20 minutes. So you don't have to worry about the inner tube slipping too much when the tyre's actually on, because after a while it'll just dry up. Last bit. There we go. That's it all on. Give that a quick blow. So I'm going to overinflate it for a bit first. Let it seat. And let the wheel seat onto the rim. I know it doesn't really matter that much because when I start riding it'll seat in anyway. Well, that's the wheel blown up, all sorted, ready to go back in. Now the crush drive is a bit loose at the back, so I'm going to cut this old inner tube up and just pack it in a little bit more, stop it moving about, because it was, when I was pulling away and coming to a stop, it was like quite badly moving. You can see where the wear patterns is really. Right, so all I'm doing is taking a little bit of inner tube, folding it up, so fold over there, fold over that way, just so it doesn't unravel. Sticking it in there. Voila. Now when you stick them in, make sure you stick them in the same sides, otherwise they won't be in line when you come to put the axle back in. The rear back in. Now and then I lose control, when I'm drowning faster than I'd really like. Me and Jamie went to see these We Are the Ocean when they first came out. It was a while ago now, a couple of years ago. When they first started touring up here anyway. It was a brilliant night. It was at the O2 Academy. I mean, just that there, that's better. But I mean, it's not perfect, so I'm going to stick a little bit more in. The catastrophe, alright, might as well be dead. And understand. So this, I might lace it in that way as well. So take a bit that's just the width of the hole. Get it, poke it in, so there's a bit of overlapping. I mean, there's a bit of space anyway, so it doesn't matter. Did the music stop? Oh fuck, must be a storm coming still. That'll be a bit of lightning. I mean, that there, fucking solid new, but since it's rubber, it'll still cushion the blow. Lose control, and I found it faster than I'd really like. There's a kind of bit of play on that bearing, like. Ooh, it's a bit mischievous. Right, so that's the wheel ready to go back on. Now, I had a video on the other day and I wasn't very good at goodbyes, so fuck off. There we go, that'll do.
Bye.